Hi, everybody. I want to quickly talk about a strategy to get your learners asking for more items and activities. You have a learner that is only interested in a set number of items or activities, maybe like 4 or 5 items, and that's it. That's all they like. So it's difficult to get them to ask for lots of different things and increase their language in that way. So when I talk about Manding, I often talk about capturing and contriving motivation. What does that mean? Capturing motivation is simply capturing the motivation of something a child is already interested, and that just might be by withholding the item or if they can't reach it. For example, a child sees chips on the shelf, they ask for chip, you deliver the chip. There's nothing you had to do. You captured their motivation, and you're going to teach them that demand or that request. Contriving motivation is taking an activity that your learner's already interested in and building upon that by doing different things with it so you can increase the number of things that they're asking for and teach them how to ask for a wider variety of things, and also to teach them to sort of stay within that activity for longer and not jump from activity to activity. For example, if you have a learner that loves Spider-Man, there's only so many times that they can ask you for Spider-Man. But eventually, if you kept doing that, they're going to get bored pretty quickly. And you're also not building that learner's demand or request repertoire because they're only asking you for one thing. And we want to teach them to ask for lots of things. So what do? Within that activity, we're going to do different things with Spider-Man. If that learner also likes the rainbow, then we're drawing Spider-Man in every different color. And now you can teach the demand or request for draw or the specific colors or the body parts of Spider-Man. Or if you're making some sort of cutout or printable with that learner, maybe they can, and you have to Google something on your phone. You could start teaching Mans for how to search for something on your phone and then print it out and then cut it out and whatnot. I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm just giving you a little overview of where I'm going with this. So that's capturing and contriving motivation. However, if you have a learner that's only interested in around 4 to 5 different activities, then you're going to eventually hit a roadblock because there's only so many things you could do with that activity, or there's only so many ways that you can contrive motivation. And we want to teach our learners to ask for tons of different items and activities. So how do we do that? Start by introducing toys, items, or activities to our learners that are not typically motivating for them or are not typically reinforcers, and try to condition those items or toys as reinforcers and teach them how to play with other things besides those 3 to 4 things that they're interested in. Because if you only stick to those 3 to 4 things, then like I said, you're going to be very limited. So what does that look like? Let's say you have a learner who really likes crackers. They also like bubbles. They like balloons, and you know they like to spin things. Okay, those are the 4 things that they like. Yes, there's different things you can do with them. Your learner can ask you to tie the balloon, to pump the balloon for the balloon. They can ask you to blow the bubbles for bubbles, to open the bubbles. But again, we're going to get stuck because those are the only 4 things we like. So here's something we can do. This is just an example. Maybe I'm going to take a bag of blocks, like those big Duplo blocks, that isn't typically motivating for our learner, and they might not go to reach for on their own. And we're going to start by just asking them to stack the blocks by pairing it with something that we know that they already like and is already valuable for them. So for example, the learner that I'm talking about, let's say they really like crackers. I'm going to say, look what I have for you. Let's stack this block. And then I'm going to deliver the cracker. And then I'm going to have them stack a few more blocks. And then I'm going to deliver another cracker. So we're sort of pairing something that our learner already likes with another activity that's not typically reinforcing or not something that they're interested in, because we're going to try to condition this as something that they are interested in. A lot of the times the activities are reinforcing or are fun for our learners, but if you deviate from what they know or you deviate from their typical items that they love, they might say no without even trying. So this is how we're going to get them to try, and also to try to get these items to become reinforcing for them. And eventually what the goal of this activity is, make these blocks reinforcing for the learner on their own, and we're going to fade out those crackers. But now we can start teaching our learner to ask for lots of different things or more items because you've conditioned this as a reinforcer and it's been paired with something that they like. So maybe one day you sit down with your learner and you go to play with the blocks and they start building them on their own and there's no crackers, and then they go to reach for the blocks, but they don't have the demand or the request for blocks yet. And now you have the opportunity to teach them how to ask for something new. And I always emphasize this, but I'm going to say it again. When we're looking to increase our learner's language, then doing it under the condition which produces a direct and immediate benefit to our learner, which is the demand, or also known as a request, asking for the things that you want or don't want, not only conceptually makes sense, but logically makes sense.